This hadgasha, when you get to that the tzimtzum is the air, not the Mamer. What's the nekudas advar? We have over here the Fidik Vadet and Mamer, not the Fidik Vadet Lashon, just the Fidik Vadet and Mamer that there is. As the Ferander tzimtzum in what's the Lashon that he says? Just to have this clear. Tzimtzum Eidin Tzach. Almas here is called as Batzmatzir. Different tzimtzum Erbe Gilui. And then the tzimtzum is there was the inner of tzimtzum. It's almost air. The Rebbe brings weiter. So what's based dort? What's the inner of tzimtzum? It's almost air. Tomorrow I said the air is beginning, the air is behel. That's the kudah number one. The kudah number two brings from the Baal Shem Tov that the briefly brings the number one. Once in the tzimtzum edition, brings from Baal Shem Tov there's kama tzimtzum. There's mislavish behelim achar helim. And also the air is an eifin of his almas, but it's an eifin of ribe alamas. Okay, but there's a certain isaf in Teres Hashem. But according to both of these, in the simple avan of tzimtzum, and al derazim negate the Teres Hashem, it's not the pshat that it wasn't a kod of tzimtzum, that the air is bis almas. Tomorrow says that the air is begilui. The air is not begilui. He's present there, but it's an eifin of his almas. So what comes out that let's say you say if the air is begilui in a place means that mokim is a keli for its inyan. The inyan of air is expressed in that makom. Mashing if you have the air is nimsa in a place where it's nimsa in a eifin of helen, that means that begoli in the gdarim of this mitzias is not going to be behesim to the air. The makom is going to be shalik for eifin air, and that's where the air is there based almost. And that's like a chiddush is there behelim. But like upon him, the pshat of helim is that the air is kaviyocho natznua as air is in zich. He's not an eifin as air is nirgash in the makom where he is. And the Makan is not behesim to him. That's a chisar. At them bring the Rebbe to the Magid. That's nicht as it. It's not the pshat that the tzimtzum is only nefin of Helen. That the Eidin stuff is nimtz in a way that he has no shaykhs to the Makim where comes on, but it's not even that he's misachid with the Makim. And the Magid brings that riches that the Eibisher wants lis achid him Adam, no Adam lamata. The far ose comes tzimtzum in order for it to be the yichud ha Adam lamata with Eibisher lamayla. That's what he also does. That's in another word which we're going to have to see the pratim later. That's the Rebbe is going to start a new mustig in tzimtzum. Not the pshat of tzimtzum just that the air is nimtzum eifin of his almos, but the makim is not b'shaychis. The adam lamata mitzad atzmei is taken at zero, which is heipach there. Adam mitzad atzmei is heipach halukus, and that's why in order for the Eibush at least achidim adam, he has to do kam tzimtzumim kol hashna magid ribi tzimtzumim. Because machmas eir mikam machmas behirus eir, the adam is not a keli to gilei lukus. Because the adam lamata is not a keli to mitzad eir himself. Like how you makom lamid tzeilim. But shaking the person mitzad his mitzias is a mitzias which is yen neisen makom mitzias. Yesh mitzias varma is a level basar agashim. What's the nekudah of us comes to that the eir should be an eifin of helim, or b'chdeya der adam zal ken nischaber sein with a lukus which mitzad atzmi is lamal mitzias. The nekudah is the yichud. So that's a whole new avan in tzimtzum, which that's going to be the ikadich of the Rebbe read, the ilim was b'shteitim in that tzimtzum. That's in the behemshah. So I was saying last time that you have in it's going to get to know akapanim maybe the mashal leisata, but the Rebbe brings in because negeh for just to understand the hemshah here a little bit. But the Rebbe brings in I was saying in Chayisara a mashal of three people the way they go to a sviva. It's not even just to have the mashal itself. That you have one eifin that a person the way a person is apiteva that he's mushba from the sviva. So Mele he's going to be affected by the sviva. Mitzad the teva that he's in. If he wants, he can be mizgaber over the sviva and he won't be affected. But that's what derech is gaber. So mitzad teva advarim, the teva adam is that if his makif, his sviva where he's in is nashpiyan. You have another eifin that he's not going to be mushba from the sviva. Why? Because he's moved. Because he doesn't relate to them. You have a yid which he only knows teira and tefillah. Ein lebeilam yichutz from tefillah and teira, let's say. And he only knows Yiddish, and he comes to a place where or they're totally different. There's no relation between him and the sviva that he's in. There's no erech klal klal. He's not going to be mushal. Why is he not going to be mushal? Because he's movable from there. That's al derech and the nimshal that is that mitzad vas vet welt sein bottle telikus. The world mitzad atzim, the sviva mitzad atzim is naif and that there's neis and makom nimtzis. Viet men pel sein that the welt should be bottle telikus. It's Meir the Eidin Sof. Eidin Sof is from a different reality. There it's Meir the Emes. The world that is a place where the Emes is not Meir. It's a world of Sheker. As if it's Meir the Emes, with Volk's battle event. then you're not being ma'achid in mitzias with holocaust. Then mitvos for ha'eif and the develop become ha'eif in a way that is the hesem of holocaust, because the gedra, the sheker of will be in his battle. So it's chen der emes, and the fact that the world has in yonim which are ha'eif holocaust, that is battle. That's not the yichud. Then there's another union. And then you don't need tzimtzumim. Then it's gen meir and the tachem et battle. The third eifin is that you have a person that he could go and he doesn't have to stay moved from the sviva. Okay, he could learn their language, he could learn their culture, he could integrate with them. But erat azat chuna, that wherever he is, he's poiled that the place that he's in zolvern azediyim. That's his chuna. So mainly he doesn't have to stay by Abdullah. Eba menshatat chuna, that wherever he is, he's poiled that the makim, the mitzias where he is, should also be like him. She doesn't have to stay by Abdullah. When do you have to stay by Abdullah? If be'etzem you want the place is a stira. So, and if you're going to relate to the place, you'll have your riddah. So the only way for the place not to be mashpia on you, that's to stay by Abdullah. But that word is, he's payal that that wherever he goes, they become like him. So that for staying by Abdullah, okay, he could get involved, he could be misarif, and it's not going to be payal if Farket. He's going to be payal, and then that they should become like him. So Al Derja, the Maggid is saying, you have one eifin, I'm saying, we'll see the Hemshchini, but you have one eifin is, mitzad Erin Sof, there's bitla mitzias. And what's the uft of Tzimtzum is, he comes in a way that he relates Kaviyachot to the Adam Matachti. He relates them. He's Ka'asa Kam Tzimtzumim, and biz it comes in a eifin, as the Rebbe's relation is, es kum to Atshemagia, biz the Adam Lamata. What's the Atshemagia Adam Lamata? That means the Lukus kumt in a weg, but the Herzach nicht der Ein Sof. He's Magia in a eifin that he, Kaviyachol, speaks the same sprach as the Adam Lamata. He's the Fiarke. And Afa became, the Mechuven is not, what's the Pshat that comes as a Nidrik? Because the Kud is that even Adam Lamata, even the Tzir of a Metzias, is also him. The Mitzad Amitis say Ein Sof of the air, even a Metzias, which is a Metzias of Gvul, their Metzias from Gvul is also him. That we'll see Behemshah. But you get the close in. Oh. So now, to verstehen, in was besteht der Ilif in dem Indian, that's the Rebbe starts here, the Prati Advan. That's the research of the one. So this, I said, yeah, we went to last time, but I think it has to be a little bit about Gosha this evening. The part of the Tzimtzum. Here, this part. So the inner of the not only the etzim of his almos, but this nekuda that was besteht in his almos, was tut man auf durch his almos. What's the nekuda of Tzimtzum? Mitzad etnu of Gilui. What's the Ilui of Tzimtzum which you don't have in Gilui? The Ilui of Tzimtzum is, we're going to see Behemshach, is not the Pshat as a Ken Shtein Behel. That's Eichet an Ilui. But the Ilui of Tzimtzum is that Areis bringen that even a Zach which is not even a Metzias which is not is their Metzias Eichet, is in Yonei Aprimi is the Espashas Elokus, the Yin of Ein Sof. That the emes of Elokus is not Mugbal Dafke to be Mitzad the Tnu of Gilui, even Mitzad Hela means, even Mitzad the Mokim and the Tzir of Welt, is the Amitis in Yonei Welt is also to bring out the Amitis Ablikvul of the Eir, as we'll see Behemshach. That's a deeper Ili in the Musik of Helim and the Musik of the Ma'ala Adiketz, which there is going to touch up on the Hemshach. Yeah, so the Rebbe is like this. You'll see the Kama Protein. Was steht in Yitzchayim? Loshen steht in Yitzchayim is, the Mekedim yourself Malam Kol Makom Achol yourself Hey Begili, which Mitzad the Gili in Sof Lechem Lehei Makom Limtzias Elemis. So the Rebbe says here is a very important point. This point, Adei Zaboyim Lo'edin in that what? And partially we were saying before, the Rebbe is being fired here. The Musik of L'mayla Adin Ket, the feed Rebbe is invited in them mind. So the fact that L'mayla is a Tnu of Helen, come a problem with the Rebbe to get fear. And Sazam is Helen, which is naif, and that he's poil on the Mokim Helen. Nachavart kommt mit zu mit dem, was bringt this Yitzchayim, and the Mayla the Ket is the Tzimtzum, was given in air. Shari Sprandi if in Eretz Yisrael the way it is in Yechelis, K'meishu b'Sharshe in Atzmus. But there is not shaykh to say the Musik of Tzimtzum. Aber Sham Yevshuli Meshkos v'Sham Shemal Kolam Tzitz v'Char K'nas Tzimtzum. Gizeh Yev Shali is b'Moyer Kim Be'er. K'mevay Yishvar Admar Azagam Baruch B'Tereir. So it's not this. The Alter Rebbe read that in Moyer is not shaykh Tzimtzum. The Rebbe is saying here Yechelis and Moyer is not necessarily the same thing. Only Shayangin in the Prati Advarim. But Lav Daf gets the same, but the Gel in what the Rebbe wants to bring out here, Yechelis Hamoyer is Abazach. It's not again on the Knech of Hamoyer who is Galus, that's the Indian Atzmi, which is not necessarily expressed in the word Yechelis. Just Prat in Medover. But in the Kulu, which is the Iker Negeh here, I'm saying one Prat is that Vibal Damereta Indian von Tzimtzum, Tmoras Gilui, So that's in the Maila Din Kes, the way it comes in the the way it is begili. Not the the way it is besharshli. The shadish of is in Yechelas Atzmus. There it's not shaykh to say a musig of gili, and V'mela it's not shaykh to say a musig of Helam Tmuras gili. We'll see what the Prata mean. So that from them comes the rest. What's that? The Friedrich Rebbe, they're Mamer, the Maila Din Kes, the way it's in there. So the Rebbe, I'll just see the Lashon, we'll just see. It says, Kivan Shebe'er Shaykh Lemer is Pashto, Shaykh Lemer Begamkin Simson. The Rebbe was Mitzayin over here. Just seeing they have here, the Rebbe was Mitzayin to the Yarn of the Mamer, to the Mamer of Terer, Vayera, and also to the Mamer, to the Hagoyis of the Rebbe Shosei in Flopish Nuches. The Hagoyis on the Mamer of Paschaliyah. So there, what's the Nukod that State? The Rebbe says, I mean, that's a bewusst Shaila that side there's a machlekes where what's the tzimtzum? The tzimtzum is siddur, the tzimtzum is helen. The Rach is a Shaila vui given the tzimtzum. Was the tzimtzum an atzvus or was the tzimtzum an and the Rebbe says that tzimtzum was an and dafke the nidrike dargis von and adra, but the more the etzem is bezgalus. The tzimtzum wasn't even in dargis and early naga be'etzem. What does he touch up there in a guy stuff in ches? As avert. Where's the shaykh to say? There he wants to bring out when you say a marlu bezgal, it's not the same touch of gili as the is begili. But the nekuda is that this negel in your here, just understand this word. The nekuda is you have l'mashal saying before. Every mitzias has the mohusa in you. Let's say there's seichos verstand, midas is gefil. Every mitzias has his teich and has his mohus, and also has in vas bashteit that he's present somewhere. How is a table present in a certain place? That you're able to touch it, or that is tefes makim. How is a svara present in your mayach? Not that you're able to touch it with your hands, and not that that it takes up physical space. The fact that your mayach versteht the svara. And how is the midah nirgash balev? How is the midah present? A midah's present is that you're margish his rakshas of the midah. You feel the riksha alev. Every mitzias has a certain teich in what it is. There's also in was with what. Which things that it has, which that you define whether it exists or not. How do you define whether with what does a table exist? It has to have the factor of touch. It has to have the factor of space. When it have these factors, it does the pshat that it exists. Seichel doesn't need the factors of touch in order to exist. Seichel, what are the tchunis which Seichel has, which is going to make it a davar akayim, or it's nimtza b'meichei, is the fact that it's verstandig. If there's a kasha on it, then that means that's going to be part of this one, and this one doesn't exist. It's mafrich this one. The table, if you have a kasha, that the table is here, but this is very nice. Every mitzias has its tchunis, and has its not only what it is, but also what's there's a criteria to make it that it's presence. What are the things that make it that it's present here? Yeah, that's the. So Alderas when you say what's the pshat? There's a musik of gili, there's a musik of helam. Gili means something is here in a tangible way. Let's say it's here in a way that it relates. It's in this place. It's murgish kach v'kach. Begili means it's murgish kach v'kach. Eid is an Indian that his presence could be in a form of gili. Atzmas is b'chal not mugder in a certain tzir. It's not shaykh to say that. So something just not mugder any tzir at all. You could say that he's here in a present, he's here in a felt way, he's here in a gididik way. Gili is a certain way of being. You're here in a way that in this makom you say there's light in this room. What does that mean? There's a room, and this room is full of light. Say there's gili, whatever. There's a makom amakabel, and that makom amakabel is saturated with air. It's full of air. Then that mitzias there's a certain hagdar in vas b'shteit that there's achis faran. You versteht the meaning. You say a person understands kach v'kach. Only a concept could be understood. Something which is not a concept cannot be understood. But something understood means that it's a certain Indian prati which could be present in this form of understanding. So there's gili. Gili means that a certain Indian is murgish in a certain daldams, and could be nimtza on the gather of gili. Is a certain Indian. Is a certain expression of a lukus, which could be present in a way that you could sense it, you could feel it, you could experience it. You heard the meaning. Mashiach Atzmas is not an Indian prati b'chal. Atzmas is shluas kol atayr. The etzem is higher than, and then there is something which is not here in a way of that the makim is margishit. He's here in a hidden way. He's here b'es almos. That's also there could be something that his presence could be in a helam dekayv, in a bahal tanev. Also bahal tanev, to say that something's present in a certain way, his presence has a certain mode, is not shaykh to say in Atzmas. Atzmas is shluas kol atayim. So he's never, you say, with what is he here? Because you say a light, you say the light is filling this room. That means the light relates to the makif, to the makim of this room. If it has no shaykhs to being a davar ruchni, can't be in a makim gashmi. He doesn't relate to any davar of makim gashmi. If you say something, there's light that's present in this room, means that he relates to the musik of makim ugvul. You say, Eir is nimtza begili. What does begili mean? Gili means that it's nirgash in the makabel kach v'kach. There's a makabel that's in this people. We sense light. That means that light relates somehow to our tfisa. If light doesn't relate to my tfisa, then it doesn't exist in my world. You heard the meaning? The same way you understand that you cannot touch a davar gashmi. You can't touch a davar ruchni. So if light is in this room, if light doesn't relate to space, then it can't be present in a certain space. If light is present in the room, means that it exists within the musik of space. I'll dare say the air is nimtza begili. What's means nimtza begili? There's a mitzias, and in this mitzias is nirgash, is meir air. That means that the mehusa air relates to mitzias somehow, relates to gili. So the shaykh is to gili. If the air hatushtan to gili is an under hecher from the whole legabi him, the whole musik of mitzias doesn't exist. The whole musik of a makabel doesn't exist. So he's not going to be nimtza in makam makabel. Gili means that he's nirgash in a mitzvah. That means that the Gabi hinders a musik of mitzvahs, and he's azam a certain mahus, which could come in a way that's felt by a makabel. Hella means that he's present, but not in a way that the makabel is. He's higher than being nittas by a makabel. He's not in a way that he's expressed. By Atzmas, not shaykh to say that he's God. Is it shaykh to say that Atzmas relates to a room? Atzmas is shlos kol atayim. Was heißt das is faran umedum? It's an other Indian. The Eibush doesn't have the limit that his being somewhere has to make sense. It has to be behesem tikdarim. Wherever he wants to use it, it's an other Indian answer. This point is understood. The point I'm trying to say is what's Negeli anymore. Again, what does the Rebbe say? The Rebbe says here, what's Vondar is bringing? We're saying mitzad the fact that the Eidin stuff is begilui. Can you say mitzvahs? Can you say mitzvahs? What's the pshat the Eidin is begilui? There's a makin. And Eidin stuff nimtza b'kol makim. We say lifnei at simsim hayu Eidin mamalik kol achol. What does that mean? Kaviyachol everywhere was nirgash ein stuff. So what does that mean? That there's no mitzias b'poil which is not behesem to lukus. The ganze mitzias is bottle. Everything's behesem to the air. Begili means that the reality is behesem to the emes that hula vadu of ein zolase. Because the inyan of ula of ein stuff is begili. It's murgish. So the mitzias, the shaki mitzias which is not behesem to ein stuff. What's the pshat simsim? What's the pshat the Eidin is beis amos? This emes that the Eibush is ein sof is not morgish begili. It's beis amos. So what's the mitzias begoli? What's the gevarn from the mitzias begoli? A makim which shalei behesem tolikus. Yeah, that's the gevarn from mitzias begoli. Behelim the Eidin is geblieben. But what's for the mitzias is gevarn begili? Begili the mitzias begili is a mitzias of which is neisen makam liyeshes. And that's the pshat. That's the pshat behelim. So gevarn mitzias which is shalei behesem to the emes of lukus. So is it shaykh to say legabi atzmos that there's a mitzias which is shalei behesem with him? Legabi the ain't self the way is galin which that's an ain't which comes in the gedorim of gilui. So what's the pshat that the mitzias is behesem telukus? If the mitzad is if the mitzias is a keli telukus, if darten laich the remes, if the is meir beisim makim, if beisim makim in gilui is nicht meir der so that makim in gilui is hepach telukus. That makim in gilui is a mitzias, is a yesh. Mashiach the gabi atzmas, his being somewhere has nothing to do with the gdorim of makim. So the fact that the Eibush is everywhere, the symptom is nicht. He's not going to say now that the Eid is based amos. So the morgish there's a nikuda of mitzias. Mitzad atzmos, the morgish is him too. It's not negay what the mitzir of the makabel is. This musik that there's a mitzir that legabi nishtake mitzias through the tzimtzum zigvarna musik from a mitzias which is outside of a lukus. That's shaykh to say legabi this let's say we're now in this world we don't feel lukus. Are we behesem? Are we a mitzias which is behesem to lukus? Or work, or mitzias yesh, which is opposite the air. Legabi the air, we're the opposite of the air, because mitzias bar gosha begoli we're mitzias. Our factual mitzias is mitzias. Shalei behesem to the air. Legabi atzmos is nicht epich. Nicht anders von him. Legabi him, there's no stirit is mitzias, because the fact that he is present somewhere has nothing to do with the gdorim of that place. You heard the meaning? So the whole ilay was megetarei that the ufto of the ma'ala adiketz is that even a mitzias, which is shalei behesem to the air, also is going to be a keli to the air. That whole in is only shaykh to say legabi air. Where there's a musik of a mitzias, that in was besteht legabe in was besteht that the makom is behesem telekos, the fact that the is in the gather of gilui. He relates to the mitzvahs. You say in was besteht that the person agrees with the svara that he understands it, but if his mind doesn't understand it, so his mind is a spirit to the svara. But if you have something that if there's no his being somewhere is not dependent whether you agree with him or not. He's there because he's there. So it's not shy to say because he doesn't understand, because in hergish filter nicht der lekos, the melee is a spirit atzmos. The helm and the gidis b'shalom amish. So the whole musik of helm is not another mitzias legabe the gidis. So the ganze zach was mereda that the helm utzimtzum hat aufgetan. That because the air is bis amos, so geworden am mitzias, and this mitzias is shaloi behesem to the air. That's shy to say in air, not shy to say in atzmos. It doesn't. Guys, he just says that's a word that the musik of gili by air and the mela there is the musik of helm. He doesn't. But guys, he says there that the musik of gili air is something which could come, which is shaykhs to the gedalim. I don't know the lashon there, but air is something which is shaykhs to the. I printed it here. Maybe it's good. Where do you have this? I shouldn't look at this. Maybe it's good. Let's see the. This is an important point to understand. In was besteht the uftu from the mila adin ketz.
Because the Mamer is saying this is this in the art itself.
Yeah, the air is best almost. So the gabi the air, the mitzias is a spirit telekus. It's in a different mode. And afat became the mechoven of tzimtzum is that even this mitzias which is not a keli to air, that mitzias gufa is nisakid. But mitzad hamor, the chatchil is also the thing that because there's a helim, so the mitzias is going to be different than him. No, this is not. This is not.
Not that one.
No. Here. So here. It says, "Eidin yone gilu." See in the second line of the "Eidin yone gilu." The zel called in the air. Mamer. Eidin ha'is galus ubay. What's the pshat of the air is bis galus? Lias nitfas umusav. Sheyar bepnimius. Sheyeda mekabel v'yargish is adover. V'zeh shayber shu b'chinas gilu. They're not kalim to this gilui. This samsum is alim b'amar. Mashiach hamar any none of these b'chinas gilui. Any begether gilui klal. He's not shaykhs to the gedarim of gilui. He's not shaykhs to be in a even of tfisa b'tzir that the tachton zon teifer sein. The more is any which is higher than tfisa. What's the pshat is da? It is da weil is da, nicht weil is the essence of da. It's an under gilui. The pshat that is nimtz on a place is. That is take a mortgage in that place. That is take a be'erech this type of mitzias. What if he's bis amos? Then the mitzias begoli doesn't reflect him. The mitzias begoli is a stiritin. It's nicht them. It's an inner from mitzias. You heard the meaning.
So why does this the atzmos ever have part of all of the Hashem Shalom Shagav Vika?
It's not verkehrt. You say the Eibishter is everywhere. And you're going to say, but the everywhere doesn't. Let's say you say, but the everywhere doesn't relate to him. His being everywhere has nothing to do with everywhere. Usually, when you say one thing is somewhere else, that means that the thing which is present in that place relates somehow to the place that he's in. Atmos is nimtza everywhere has nothing to do with the place that he's in. He's there because he wants to be there.
So why do you have to say Shem Shalom Shagav?
The pile he's there, begillah. Everybody knows about him. His mahus. I was saying Shem Shalom Shagav b'fikal. That's what I was trying to say is it's not that you say it's a very modern zach, but people know about something. There's a mahus, which is Yadua, through the Noshim B'Ami Yoretz. And it's not the pshat, usually, how does a person know something? You see, why, when you're young, you don't know about certain things. When you get older, you know about. How do you know about them? Because your me'ach wasn't a keli to these ideas. And now your me'ach became a keli to this idea. The me'ach became a keli to the musik of Atzmos. This Shem Shem Shagav B'Fikol. Vi veis in Noshim B'Ami Yoretz from them. Their me'ach is a keli to this mahus, to this Indian. You say you can explain to us Varseichel to from this Noshim Mamer the author speaks. You explain them a svara they can't understand. But Shem Shemam as Dan Eibishter does wesen sie alle. A musik from the a mathematical musik wesen sie nicht. As Dan Eibishter wesen sie. Yeah, what's the author says? What do they know? Take it's not a musik sichli. It's not a musik of regesh. There's no touch to the pshat Eibishter. That's Noshim Mamer. So what do you mean? They know that there's someone. He created the world, and we daven to him and we hope to him and everything is him. Say, tell me something about that someone. Is he great? Is he a lofty being? What? They never thought in their life. They know that there's an Eibishter. The musik has no touch. But the musik has no touch. Zero touch what the word Eibishter is. Not even the musik of not touch. It's not Eibishter, unattached. Question: how did they become kelim to this musik? You say, by us as nirgash pshitas, this is beyond pshitas too. But every musik that you have, l'chori, you have to be a kelim for the musik, no? Wie der wissen sich von einer Sache, which you have no tfis in that type of video. How do they know such a thing? Because it's not that their mayach is a certain mayach, which is a keli that the Eibishter, which unattached, is also chem. Because the Eibishter is everywhere. It's an under Indian. The Eibishter is everywhere. How is he everywhere if the everywhere has no erechin? He's everywhere because he's not. The whole musik, his being doesn't need to be behesent to any gdarim. He has no shaykhs to any gdarim, and his being has nothing to do with any gdarim. Is alin faran umadum and begili? Yet there ain't a race beginning. What I'm saying is, it's shaykh to say that a svara should be begili everywhere. Alles don't listen with them. Unverstehen das. If a svara is begili everywhere means that my mayach understands it, then it's going to be how much my mayach understands. It's going to be according to my understanding. You see, the Alter Rebbe says, Shem Shem Shagab B'Fikel, that Eibishter Kameshuhu, not the way, there's the way this Isha's tefis the Musik Abalakus, and there's the way that Katan is tefis it. The Etzim Kameshuhu has no touch b'chlal. It's not the Hesen to the Klei HaMakabel. There's a Yeder in a base Don Eibishter. There's an Almighty God. What does that mean? Before, when they get older, they start thinking that it means a super being, powerful, that's all later things. But the Etzim Zachalakus has no touch. Beyond any touch. And that's the stand from them about their etzim is begin.
Because he's begiler or because he's farah?
He's farah, but we wouldn't know about it. Everybody knows about it. He's a reality that's sugar b'fika. Everybody knows about it.
Maisi is begiler. That's all.
Vaza is begiler. Avada is begiler. What do you mean? Of course, the Alter Rebbe says, "Adrab Amayru is galus." Doesn't have to be. Doesn't have to be anything.
The word gilir doesn't mean the same word when you say that there is begiler.
No, it's all different. Ir begili means that the muhus comes behesim to the place. The place. The air can't be begilui. What I'm saying? The atom is a chiddush. What does gilui mean? The air is a certain Indian. He could be in this mode and he could be in this mode. So he's in this mode. That means he's in a mode of gilui. He's in a mode of tfisa. See, what does it mean begilui for a person in Elam Hazah? That you sense it, let's say. So the air has to be a sensible thing. If the air is not something that you can sense, then it won't be a begili. Atzvos is not a sensible thing, and we know about him anyway. You see, if someone's going to ask you, how do you make something known in Elam Hazah? Do you want everybody to know about it? Yeah, to put up a sign. Epis needs to be in some type of gedarim in order for it to be known everywhere. Is Atzvos in those? Atzvos is not in those gedarim. He's not publicized. No, what I'm saying is he's not begili because he is a presence that's a public. He's not a. No, everybody knows about him. He's beginning. What I'm saying is that yeah, that's also what I'm saying. What's taka the pshat? Because he's beginning. What I'm trying to say is ba'er, but this is an important point to understand. You say if you want something to become publicized in Elam Hazah, could it just come just like that out of the blue, or are you gonna have to? It has to be an open thing. If you're gonna hide something in a box, so only 5 people are gonna know about it. How are you gonna make something public knowledge? There's ways to do it, Mistama. Make something public. You put banners, but people are going to have to know how to read. There's Mistama ways to make something. If the Indian is not a public thing, let's say something that by B'muhusay is a private Indian. So then, it's not going to be Begili. See, what does it mean that the air is Begili? Let's make this. What does the word Gili mean? It has to have some taishu. Let's say Gili means in Ilam Atzilus, that Kliya Chachme senses a lukus. Then the air came into the G'darim of his Galus Alukus in Chacham. If the air is moved from that seer, is Nishtah in Gilui. So now, when you say that he's Beis Almos, what's mean this? When you say that he's Behele means that the Mok in Begilui is not the Hesem to the air. So there's a Mok which is Shaleik Feif in it. Mit später verstehen der Ilui that Afa became this Mokim is a Kedi, the Magid. But first, this Indian is not Shaykh to say the Gabi Etzim. Because the Gabi Etzim, Yeder Platz is there. It's a whole different Indian.
Everybody are saying that in the end.
That there's a Metzias Tmuras, that there's this is what the Rebbe says. Listen, the Lashon is very stark, but we'll see the says it over here. Kivan Shaber, he says, Kivan Shaber Shaykh Lemer Spashtus, Shaykh Lemer Gabi Gavkin Tzimtzum. V'lechein, Inyan Zeh, the Shetzimtzum Eri Nishar Mokim Cholol V'reikam Upone, this is the Rebbe's Lashon, is the fact that Mitzat Inyan at Tzimtzum, Igevarna Mokim, which is not Behesem Tolikus, Cholol V'reikam Upone, a place where there is Herzach Nish Tolikus. That's the Shaykh Hazagan not an Eir. An Eir is Shaykh, let's say, as to Gevarna Mokim, which there is not nirgashin. So begili, this makim is not a keli talukus. It's hepech halukus. Mikoydem haya begili, malis makim achol. But even there was so she can't say in mitzvahs. But acharkach the is neifen of Helen. So begili the makim is makim pani v'reikon in shtakener. Mashiach answers it's not that the legabiat that there's a makim wo dort nicht talukus. Mashiach sagen das.
What does it mean that he's there? He's the way of Helen?
There's something else. Something else that is that Eric could be in a way. But the makim b'murgish, the gili, the makim, the mekabel, which is not margish there, is not the hesem to there. So this uftu that Afa became the makim with nischaber vermitem. That's an uftu noisef to the etzem in of gili. There is the erin sub gili. There's this ili in the air lamay ladin kes that even a makim was shalei behesem to him. Afa became but their makim nischaber vermitem. We'll see back. Every mokim is not a legabia etzem. Their mokim is a kelita, not a kelita. The wrong word is a kelita. But the mitzad the mokim is it's mitzad the fact that the mitzad the moir, there's no space that's different than him, so to speak, because er is nimtz b'kol mokim. Shemashim shemaim shagar b'fikei for the noshim v'amiyaretz. The kavanosam ba'omrim shem shemayim letzach la'atzmus hamoir. Yeah, they say Eibishter unattached. That's the Eibishter alone. Yeah, it's not chayim. So much more nimtzu b'kol makim. In that tzimtzum like be'er shetmur hazeh shehoyi b'gali erechak yechubel. Mashiach to say that now that the air is not murgish nishtadart. The gabe kem sagen is nishtadart. Man an nishtad. Behel mavad is da, but it's not begili. So that's a shit. Okay, let's now here. What's the hemshel though? I'm going to see also. It's come up with the mirror. Zen. Mamshel by Mamer, we're learning this anachas too.
Is this something about Yeshus Begani?
Well, maybe we'll see later because that's only get to the Hamshech Hanyon. I'm saying this. The Hamshech Hanyon is best. Rabbi will get back.
The Hamshech Hanyon, this wouldn't be more massive to say before the Magid.
No, because I think the Rebbe means the Magid just he brings that Helam is Ilui. He's explaining what the Malachit says the Ilui of Helam. And there's kama pratim in the Iluyim of Helm. So there was the Beifin Kodid, and the Kodid is not the Etzmin in the Helm. The Helm and the Eifin, which is Shaykh Halagil. Now, the Pure Tadvarim, that's the Hemshech. That starts from the.
What's the idea? What's the idea that he wants to make? What's the?
Legabi, what the Friedeker Rebbe is saying. That's the Pashtus. I didn't see it now, but I think in Sefer Erechim, when he brings that there's Malakas Mala the Tachlis in and he brings up this. I think he brings from Legani Chafei that the Friedeker Beret Mala the Ketz not an Atzmos, not an Yechedes, but an The Legani Chafei. That stay there. You saw it. Yeah. So he's touching this. I'm saying the Ramazim that mitzad Mar hu be'ezgalu, so that's the state is dark about. And that Pashas it means Indian the Gabi breaking down what the Friedeker is saying. Mamshel by Mamer the Bira Indian. Oh, so here, what's the Indian at Simson? This is an important point also. What's the Indian? So we want to get to understanding the Ilui of the fact that mitzad em vert Simson. So vert mokim poni, and even this mokim poni is a luminous achad the thing. The Adam vert from the mokim poni, which is an eifin of dam, and this mokim poni will be in this achad the focus with the Eibishter. So now I just want to say one word over here. The Rebbe starts off, Kivan shu erin sabam mitis, Mele yef shalemer be shum teir and be shum agbolis. Now Kain mocher chalemer shesh eir agvol ve'er abligvol. Means there's both a fan of Messiah air, which is shelu mitzis, the eir abligvol, and Saya air, which is neisen wakum mitzis. Gam gezek shvila neisen wakum leelam is. So ebazei kilo ashayle vasav naman atzimtzum. Kilo if you understand that erin stuff only has bligvol. And the Elam is not Gvul. So Elam is believable. Elam is the regular Mashal the Rav Talmud. The Rav is Chveis Tzich Le'atzmi of the Rav is Shalei Be'erech to the Talmud. Talmud is Shalei Be'erech lower than him. That's from Mitzamsim Zayin. In order for that the Me'ech HaRav zal Tzukum into the Me'ech HaTalmud. Let's say. So then what Nishman Keshai this episode. What the Rebbe's Lashon is, if you listen to the tape also, since Elam stuff hatten sich alt, so Kabiocha, what do you need? What's the Tzimtzum? L'chora hatten sich alt.
I think in Mahak they have a whole different chart they ask.
But yeah, you have the Rebbe's Lashon, just that's the way they're asking, that's the way they should like also. Dain so khoni gelernt so nicht, vorhin gibt es so mit ist. Hier ist Mauer Tamsche gelernt. Okay, why so different? Okay, why? Die Bar das sagt, das ist in Sabamit ist in der anderen Art verlangen. Was hat das mit dem Mamer education? But no could I just say what the understand shots like this. There's two ways to learn. This is I'm saying what Ken say. Two ways to learn what's the Indian Tzimtzum. There's coming in Yonam, you understand the Musik of Tzimtzum. There's one even to understand is that the Musik of Tzimtzum is sein Gvul. Tzir. Umas Tachlis Apshitis. Mitzad Elis of Shalifnat Tzimtzum is the Bli Gvul. Ein Saf Pshitis Ha'er. You see, Mitzad Bli Gvul, there can't be... What's Taka the Pshat? Why there's no Nisin Asmakum L'Mitzias? Because the air is Tachas Bli Gvul, let's say. Since there's Bli Gvul, so there's no space for anything which is not there. What's the Nekudas at Tzimtzum? As Lavern Gvul, Tumuras Bli Gvul. That's the Nekudas Tzimtzum. It should be Gvul instead of Bli Gvul. But what Rebbe wants to be mad Geshir is the Nekudas, the field of Lashon is that Vo is Nischadish to Tzimtzum, the Nekud of Hergish Hayeshis, not the Nekud of Gvul, L'umas L'min of Bli Gvul. What's Nischadish in Tzimtzum is, the Tnu is that there's a Metzias, which is independent outside of Elikus. That's that Gosh. Not that Elam is Gvul, L'umas L'min of Bli Gvul. And doesn't negate to what Mavar is bringing it. Huh? There's an inner Metzias V'yeshes. You look in the Friedrich Rebbe's Lashon, so what does the Friedrich Rebbe say? What was Tenem Shenestal in itself? Hayigila, Ma Shehay Nergish Pshitis, who ate in Sof. Metzias V'yeshes, Lo Hay Nergish Kla. Was is Chadish geworden durch Tzimtzum? He says, by that Tzimtzum, Nis Alle Ma'er, Ma Shenergish Pshitis, who Yeshes Vam Metzias. So what's the Indian was upgetan durch the Psalms? The Indian of Gvul, that Al-Kus comes by Gvola, there should be a Metzias of El which is Gvul, and Shegen Eibish is Bli Gvul, or not the Etzim Indian of Gvul. That there should be a Metzias which is was filled Zich, not the Hemshach Al-Kus. The Indian of Tzimtzum is the Indian of Hergish Hayeshes. The Indian of Metzias, so the Rebbe says, Mitzad Indian of Artefaran. It's not the Pshat the Eibish is Bli Gvul, and you have to, Artes the Bli Gvul, so the Gvul is Artefaran the Tzimtzum. But the Lifnei Tzimtzum Artes Fran and Aveg, that everything, but the Nekud of Hergish Hayeshes, that there's something that there's a gather of a Metzias, a Egen Azar, that doesn't Nishtal Lifnei Tzimtzum. So, huh? What's the Keich HaGvul that receives Behelim? What's the Pshat Keich HaGvul is Behelim? That the Pshat is, there's L'chur there's Eir HaGvul, there's Eir HaNesin Makol Metzias, but there's Lifnei Tzimtzum, the Eir HaNesin Makol Metzias is, the Eibisher Shlimus, they call it Eibisher is Ein Tzav. If the Eibisher is Ein Tzav, it's nicht Shaykh HaZagen, Kein Shema Gvul is nicht. But that's not in Metzias Vayeshes. That means that the Ein Tzav of Elikus is out. There's everything. There's Gvul, there's the Eibisher is Tachas HaShleimus. But a Nekud of a Metzias which is independent of Elikus. That you have inside the Nekud of Shleimus Ein Tzav too. You have the Eibisher is Nizgal in Alei Fanim. And the Elikus is not Gvulus. But there should be a Metzias which is Nisht Elikus. A Hergish Hayeshes. That's for that you need a Tnu of Tzimtzum. Mitzad Lifnei Tzimtzum, it's Amit, there says, the Elikus Lifnei Tzimtzum is Amit Ein Tzav. Ein Tzav, Lei Shayach, with Shim Teir and Vagbolos. But Shim Teir is out, there's Gvul, there's Bli Gvul, Azaz Sert Teir, that's Veta Sert Teir, but all Mitzad Shleimus Ein Tzav. But another, not Shleimus Ein Tzav, there's a Metzias of a Yesh. There's a table, a person which could be Misavet Taivel Inan Nilamaz. There's a Metzias of a Adam. The Musik of Islam is there's a Metzias, not Behemshach Talikus. A Tzveiter Mensch. Not Behesem Teregat Talikus. That's the Chadash Tzimtzum. Not Gvul L'umas Bli Gvul. A Metzias V'yesh. Hergish a Metzias. L'umas that everything is here of Shleimus Ein Tzav. And there's certain Metzias which is Heper. This Metzias we're going to see later, and that's in that Tzimtzum is his Almos Hamager. Not the Gili of another Koyach in Elikus. The Kudas at Tzimtzum is that the Elikus is based Almos, and there's space for Metzias. The Eibusher is here, but he doesn't have to be expressed openly, and there's space for a Metzias that should feel that Erzazar. So the platz for Atzveita. That's the Kudas at Tzimtzum. Gvul also Faram, but there everything is Faram is inside the Shleima say inside everything is there. The Nekud of Tzimtzum there's the Hergish, there's the Nekud of Metzias. That changes in what Eifen the Eira Gvul is Lifnei Tzimtzum, the Gavot Eira Gvul is Achra Tzimtzum. The Eira Gvul Lifnei Tzimtzum is a Prat in the Shleima say inside. The Eira Gvul Achra Tzimtzum the Hergish is there's a Welt. Now we have to bring a Lekus to this Welt. After bringing the Elokus, the Erech as well. It's a whole different taich. Then that Erech Gvul is Nesim Makom Lemtzias Kipshuta. I'm saying is you have the mashal, you have let's say you say the Chassidus Shetep said the Rabbi is in the Mamer that you say there's two efanim, let's say, to bring out that there's Kechesprim and there's Ratzin. And Ratzin is Shalei Be'erech stronger than all Kechesprim. Ein Lechodar Reid B'fnei Ratzin. Seichel, a mensch versteht the Zach Api Seichel, but it doesn't have such a tkifus that it's going to be shailet on all other, on the leiv behechter. There's different dargis. But B'shas a person wants something, his nefesh is nimshach to something, tzitzach tzazach, so the Ratzin is a very strong player. What is expressed to take it for Ratzin? And two things. That nothing's going to stop him. Even if it doesn't make sense, and it's Hepech is Seichel, Hepech is Midas. He's not Meschasha with the Skechus Premium. And Nachazach steht is that Ratzin is Matas HaSeichel. When a person wants something, so which as a person has an Etias and Nevesh, a certain Indian, it's great that his Seichel, he starts mastic the Inyan of Ratzin Matas HaSeichel. He starts being mastic the Inyan of HaSeichel. People understand stuff, but it's not matter their leave to be margish. You can verstehen, ein Zach Lopel, the Ikshalev game was gay. Mashiach and Ratzin has the tchuna that it's matas. Two different between. One eifin is in was Vetzachar is being a taker for Ratzin, that everything will be in his battle. Another eifin taker for Ratzin is that a Ratzin matas hatzir. Now, from the point of view of Ratzin, you can look at it. You see, the taker for Ratzin has no limits. Let's say it's kifas is the tachas of shleimus. There can be different types of shleimus. There's one type of shleimus that legabi the Ratzin nothing exists. Another type of shleimus is that whatever is going to be, he's going to be matar like him. And the Ratzin is a davar shalom. Hat alle Ifanim von Starket, let's say. That's but then Rach is lepoil mamish the when you say there's a person. When do you have people that their Ratzin is in a way that the number is chashav with seichel midas, and when do you have people that when they have a Ratzin it's poil it's matas aseichel. The shaila is a person that should gabi him seichel midas is lechatchol not a davar chashuv. He doesn't appreciate seichel midas. So by him, his tnuas Ratzin with his galavar naveg there is not much chashav with seichel midas. Someone that is a bichlal a mensch, and he likes doing things al pi seichel of the time. The poil he has a Ratzin to something, but since he's a person that's machshav seichel, so by him the kayach Ratzin is expressed in a way that he's matas seichel. The poil Ratzin, you can look at Ratzin being matas seichel as a tzimtzum b'yerida, or you can look at it as a prat in the shleimus Ratzin. So Eira Gvul lifnei tzimtzum is that the Eivish can be in his gala, his ein tzom can be in his gala in alifan. Shleimus the kula. Can sein blikvul, can sein gvul. He can be nice and makab l'mitzias und seine mitzias. But that what's the chatchil the whole in mitzias? That ein tzom could be everywhere. Then there is the house in Rigash Lachrat Tzimtzum. There's a world. It's the world. And what's the pshat in the Eira Gvul? That since there's a world which is a mitzias, the only way to relate to this world is not the only way, but we're mischashav with this world, and therefore we're going to come in a way that what's it uftan about? You say mitzad the eres of shlifnei tzimtzum. You say in the dugma mitzad the Ratzin k'meishu ba'atzmai. He's not mischashav v'chal with seichel midas. Mitzad Ratzin the way it's meir in a mitzias there is seichel midas. There he's in a framework where seichel midas have a tfisas makim. Ratzin is tkif. So was Vetzachar is being as ein tkifis, and then there is going to be matter the seichel midas. So al derech zeh you have a look. What's the pshat in Eira Gvul? Lifnei is the pshat in Eira Gvul is that the Eibush is ein sof. Shlomo said the kula. La'achar tzimtzum the hergish is that there's a welt, and the welt is a mitzias, and so because the Eibush is not. So which nekudin elokus vert nisgal la'achar tzimtzum not to be shayla the mitzias about. That elokus should come lefiyarke. That's two ways of understanding the musik of Eira Gvul. Is the whole musik of Eira Gvul a prat b'shleimus ein sof? Or the musik of Eira Gvul is because we don't want to break the Gvul. So we're mamshach ha'er, which is not sheilu l'gamri the Gvul, not tachas abli Gvul. Inyan mit tzumtzum, which is lefi erech ha'Gvul. You heard the meaning? Let me say again. We end up dashing too much and then we lose the focus a little bit. Let me say a bisschen. Here, let's see. Kiven sher sama mitzvah melem b'shum te'er, the b'shum agbal is a kimuchach lemer hot out. We'll see another word in this. Hat Eira Gvul, so the Eira bli Gvul. Hainu b'chinas Eira, neisen makom l'mitzidan, Eira which mitzad this Eira, he's not sheilu mitzias. Neisen makom l'mitzias. V'gam Eira kazeh shekshu begili, eini neisen makom l'elamis. Was darf noch mit Nina Tzimtzum? Wir sagen schon, wie Mamer bei Zakei, der ist Eira, das Shlomo the kula. Kshem she the kech, bulti bagvul, kach is the kech bagvul. Tim leiken at the mechas Shlomo. So what's the pshat in kech bagvul? Famous this common problem, but the Nekuda even clearly is, in them state the fact that he has Keich HaGvul. Not the Keich HaGvul is a Meyuchis. Because the Eibush is Taras HaShlemus. Taras HaShlemus, and Mamela hat out. But then, in was besteht in the Nekuda of Keich HaGvul, that's a prat in the Shlemus Ein Tzach. Afa became lehaya makal mit the elements. Why? The she'era blikvol who begile in nirga she'era gvol. Means hagam shebe'emes yesh nirga gvol. The era gvol is dort in faran. But mikomek im ein nirgash is not era gvol is a prat in the blikvol of alakus in the shleimas of alakus the shleimas ein tzach. There's another nekuda here because. There's another nekuda here. There's another nekuda why the Rebbe is being madgish this point. The Erek Vuli dort faran, but the Erek Vuli fnet Tzimtzum is a prat is not another mitzias in the Erek Blikvul. La'achrat Tzimtzum mitzad is almus of Erek Blikvul. So then the Erek Vul is nirgash as a ini b'fnei. The Erek Vul has its own hergish. It's lifnei Tzimtzum so the Erek Vul, but the Erek Vul is not is bottle is one nekuda with the Erek Blikvul. What's the Nekuda of Eira Blikvol that the Eibush is Ein Sof? And that's the Nekuda of Eira Gvol also. The Sazam Yisrot Eibush is Nesim Makom L'Mitzias. That's the part of the Shlemus Ein Sof. Mashiach L'Achirat Tzimtzum is then there's a Hergish HaMitzias. And what's the Nekuda of Eira Gvol? Not a Prat in the Eibush is Ein Sof. It's that there's a Darg in Olukus which is Mitzamtzum himself to Kumen in a Weg which would be Behesem Tevelt. Like saying the Mashal B'Nefesh. Why? We're mitzad which darga is going to be that Ratzin won't be shevel b'seichel. Ratzin will be mated b'seichel. Mitzad that darga of Ratzin, in which the that darga seichel is a mitzias. So he doesn't break seichel, he comes behesem to seichel. We this nirgash la'achar tzimtzum. Why is the Eira Blikvul shevel? Eira Gvul is not shevel because legabe the Eira Gvul ifarana mitzias. Not that the whole nekuda of Eira Gvul is mitzad shleimus ein tzom. Because it's a mitzumtzum and legabe mitzumtzum velt is a mitzias. But mainly it doesn't break it, he comes behesem to velt. But shaking the same early from Tzimtzum in Yoni is that the Eibush is Ein Sof. The Mili for an Eiraful. A different type. So Gan Shem Yesh Neiragvul. Mikol any nirgash. Ma shen nirgash rak Eira Blikvul. We'll see this word why it's L'chein Lo Hayom Makom Amidas Limtzias Eilams. Huh? Well, the Rebbe brings later just one word. The Rebbe brings the Mashal later from the Mittel Rebbe that what's the Pshat Tzimtzum? This Inyan, the Tzimtzum is not. You say the same Inyan. The Eira Gvul is a prat in the Eira Blikvul. The Inyan at Tzimtzum is that the Eira Blikvul is based almost, and he only lets you sense, let's say, one aspect of the air. As I just to say in these words, the Tzimtzum is not a Meshafta Nai is after Tzimtzum. The same Inyan that's there before, but to see it as a prat and not the way it is, that it's the same Nekuda as the Eira Blikvul. It's not that Tzimtzum Shafta is one. You say Tzimtzum is through the Tzimtzum Gevarn to the Shimos, the Gevarn Isis, but there's an Inyan that the same Inyan that was let's say there's all in Yonam Lifnetz, the Eira Gvul Lifnetz was a prat in the Eira Blikvul. So through this almost for Eira Blikvul, and now it's nirgash the Eira Gvul as the Inyan Lifnetzman. So mitzad the Eira is no shiri because mitzad the Eira Gvul is a prat in him taki. But the Mekabel is not margish the whole Blikvul, so he takes the Eira Gvul as the Inyan Lifnetzman. That's only shaykh to say if you say this word that Atzif Haram Lifnei Tzimtzum. And the Tzimtzum was just Mailim on the Blikvul. And the Mailim, the Mekabel is only Margish one Nekuda. So since the Mekabel is only Margish one Nekuda, so it's not a Shin of the We'll see it later. It's not a Shin of the Gabadir. It's not a Shin of the Gabadir. This word is going to explain one of the first beer that Rabbi brings when we get to Lishanis. This word has a Alts Dog Lifnei Tzimtzum, but the Nekuda of his Almus is that you're only Margish the Gvul as a Prat Lifnei Tzimtzum. But in this, what I'm saying is you have a lashon chassidus and even in Tafshin Yud itself. There's a I think it's Mamer called a Mamer. So there he brings that what's the nekuda satzimtzum? It said gvul leumas bli gvul, not mitzias v'yeshes leumas bittul. Gvul leumas bli gvul. So you have one. The Friedrich is madgish here that the nekuda of tzimtzum is mitzias v'yeshes, not gvul. So the Rebbe is saying gvul also for lefnei tzimtzum. There's Eira Gvul. I mean, after Shaman at Tzimtzum, they say, but the regular Moshe of Rabbi Talmud. Why do you have to have a Tzimtzum? Because the Tzias and Yeshes and Bittul, nothing to do with that. The Rab is zu heich. The Talmud, the Shalei Be'erech Nidriker, darf mit Tzimtzum and the Minyan. As that's our Tzimtzum, Tzimtzum Derech Silu. The other thing here, the Nekuda is not that he has the Eira Leki zu heich and zu Nidrik. For that, everything is different. The question is, Lifnei Tzimtzum is all behemcha to the Shleimus Ein Sof. And Metzias and Tzimtzum is als Achernas von der Metzias. There's a Metzias of a Welt. And was for the Eifen kommt out the Erak Vol in Welt? The Erak Vol comes with that the Hergish is that he gives that Tfisas Makom to the Metzias of Welt. Why is he not being, say, why is he not breaking Welt? Why doesn't the Erak Vol Mavatl it? Because the Gabi Erak Vol, Welt has the Tfisas Makom. That's an inner Metzias in the Erak Vol. Tmur said that the Erak Vol Lifnei Tzimtzum, Kol in Yoni was the Shleimus Ein Sof. The Erak Vol is Kaviyachol, an Indian of being mayor and a Tnu of not being Shelo Welt. It's not a negash that Kol in Yoni of Erak Vol is the Shleimus Ein Sof. It's the Eibush is made in a way, in a Mitzumtzum Dekaif and more, in order not to cancel the Metzias Eilam. That's the inner Metzias which is Chadash in there. Not a Prat in Shleimus Ein Sof. Huh? As an Indian for itself, that it's an which in Yoni Lahayr Big Bull. There's no meaning to be mayor Big Bull. There's no chashivas to be mayor in Eifen of Bull, because there's no reality outside. There's no chashivas of Bull. If Welt has no tfisas magid, there's no chashivas to the mitzvahs of Welt. Is there a value that could be mayor in a way that the world won't be in his body? If there is no reality of a world, shtazazach. Say, but there's a chashivas that the Eibush can be mayor in a way that's not shelo Welt. Say, what's the chashivas? You say sometimes you're able to explain a svara in a way that even a something which doesn't exist should be able to grasp it. It doesn't exist. What's the mind? Say they're able to a kid able to grasp it. We understand. There's a child in the universe. It's a shleimus to be able to explain the svara in a way that child should understand. But you should be able to explain the svara in a way that for nothing is nothing. So Lifnei Tzimtzum, you say, is there any chshivas in Erak Vol? There's no chshivas in Erak Vol. You say, what's the chshivas of Erak Vol? That he's mayor in a way that is neis in makom l'mitzias. There's no mitzias. So what's the pshat? Outside in doesn't exist. That's what I'm saying. So what's the negash there? The Eibush is Ein Sof, something else. If mitzad Ein Sof, there's Ein Leimar B'Shum Teir and Vagbalis, something else. La'achret Tzimtzum, there's a gather of Welt. There's a musik of Gvul. There's a musik of a mitzias. And then Erak Vol has Kavayachal a Yichas B'Fnei Atzmi. In Yoni is, this is the way it is, Begilui, the Hergish of Erak Vol is, that there's a world, and the Eibush contains within himself this Shleimus that is able to relate to a world. But when you say that word, you're saying that there's a Metzias, there's a Tisagam to another Metzias outside of the Eibush. Because if there's no concept of a world, there's no Ma'il of Erak Vol.
You're saying Erak Vol, the way it gives a Chshivas.
Has the Inni B'Fnei Atzmi, not only mitzad the Ein Sof of Elokus. What I'm saying is, Avade, we're never going to say that the fact that Eibush has Erak Vol is not because he's Ein Sof, of course. But the question is, you say, what's the chshivas of the fact that he can be married Big Vol? See, one way of looking at it, there's no chshivas, there's no Welt, there's no Gvul. So why are you saying the Eibush could shine in a limited way? See, the Pashta the Kedr says that the Eibush, the Kula, he has Blig Vol and Gvul. So someone's asked a question, you're going to say that someone, you see, Pasha is there, what the Rebbe is saying. See, someone has the ability, strength, blikvol. Yeah? Unlimited. See, he has the milah that he has unlimited amount of money, but he doesn't have the milah that he has money bagbala. You know what I'm saying? What's the milah to have money bagbala? He has the Indian blikvol. See, if you're going to say that he only has the blikvol not gvol, why Mechazish Lemusa? Fakert, he has it without any limits. And then by people you say, yeah, but if he has no way of limiting himself, the Pearl just limited people. So if he has no keach hagbala, his svara won't be able to come to a makom namuch. But what if there would be no makabel? What if there would be no musik of then what's the mailing gvul? There's no mailing gvul. Yeah, forget. You say the Eibush has keach without limits. But if you say that he has keach with limits, why is it mechazish lemusik? So the pashta beer, and by Nevraim you say once we want a world. The only way to create a world is that the Eibush is able to limit himself. So Gvul has a chshivas, versteht man sehr gut. The Keddish Etish mitzad dem b'sigvar navel. So Lifnei says the pshat is, why are we saying that the Eibush has Keddish Gvul? Because the word's fakert. Who said that Bli Gvul is a ma'ile? Like the Gabi Amit is saying stuff. Who said Bli Gvul is a ma'ile? That's what he's trying to say. The Eibush has ain't stuff shlemus the kula. Whatever he wants, he has. That's what he's trying to say. Who said Bli? In our world, we understand the ma'ile of Bli Gvul. So why do you need Gvul for? The Torah says because there is limited mekablim. So if you want to be able to give your hashpah in a way that they should be able to contain the air, you have to have a keich gvul. Lifnei Tzimtzum, the pshat is there's no gvul, there's no bli gvul. Why do you say the Eibush has keich gvul? Why is keich bli gvul better? The Eibush has ein sof. If he's ein sof, so you shlemus the kula. That's different. La'achar Tzimtzum, the hergish of Gvul is a different word. There's a world, and the world, if it's going to be Meir the Eira Bli Gvul, it's going to break the world. So there's a mila to be Meir in a way that the world is able to be Makabel. So that's l'chura, so that's giving a tfisa smakim to the air. You're saying that there's a chshivas of an Indian outside of the Eibishter himself. There's a tfisa smakim to Aveld. There's a musik outside of Elukus. Because if there's no musik outside of the Eibishter, so what's the mila of Eregbul? So that's the tzimtzum was nesin makim the mitzias v'yeshes. And the Eregbul comes in a eifin that the hergish is as a was besteht the chshivas von Eregbul as can Meir sein in Welt und nicht mehr Wachel sein. That's a tzimtzum, that's a shinui. You have to see the Friedrich Rebbe's Lashon to understand, because Mamer is noch a paar Wörter. שאלה בלי גבול וכדי נגש הגבול. גם שבאמת יש נגש הגבול מקונקר אין נרגש. ומה שנגש רק era בלי גבול. ולכן לא היה מקום מציע סיילמס, כנעל מייץ חיים. ובזה היה צמצום, ואיפה שצמצום אלה לגמרי, השלכן נקרא מוקים חולו ריקן upon סילוק לגמרי from the Indian of air, stuck in air. stuck in גילוי. זה הרצח נשתל לקוס. was wird am Metzies wie יש? הוולט. שבערך האר שהיא בגילוי מזרבס לגרבס לפור. לגבי עצמוס, in nicht gewohnt kemokim upon. But בערך האר שהיא בגילוי, now he's not begili, now he's behelem. So legabi ha'er nasa mokim poni mize v'reikel v'cholu. Gevon ha'metzias from ha'yesh. Heipach ha'er. What's the nekudas ha'er that the Eibishter is ein sof, as the donor the Eibishter, what's the gevon tzimtzum? Silik eir ha'gada al-atzad, and tmuras his galos ha'er gevon ha'metzias. And then himshach, so what's the pshat in the kav kotze v'dak? It shouldn't break the world. Not the kav kotze v'dak, which is because the Eibush is ein sof. That mamshach is an air that should be in a eifin. So legabe this air, volta stevus makom b'chol. Himshach kav kotze v'dak. Shouldn't an answer. I'm saying a pashto zak. The kav kotze v'dak lifnei tzimtzum was neisin makom l'mitzias or not? La'achar tzimtzum kav kotze v'dak is neisin makom l'mitzias. Because they're saying it was bashit chshivus of that a lukus could even be mayor in the world. Doesn't have to be mayor in a way that he's mevatel velt. There can come in a velt. Eba velt is garnished. What's the Indian then? What's the matter of kav kotzer v'dak? That he's able to be mayor in velt and not break it. That means that, and that's a certain ilu. That's it. That's an ilu that means the velt is a mitzias. Mash'eik lifnei tzimtzum azasert in nishtal lifnei tzimtzum. It's not talking velt. It's only him. So what's the mile of erak vol? The Eibush is ein substance and nacheni. Now, so this taich, it says, this is the first taich of the Gabayni evaluation you see. It's Kama Pratim, but the Rebbe brings, what's the middle Rebbe say in Perek Tes, why any evaluation you see? He says, because, let's say you have over here, you have Lifnei system there was an air, and then Nimshach Kav Kotzer B'dak. B'chol Etz Hashini, Kav Kotzer L'umas Lifnei Tzimtzum. The Teretz is, the Gabe, the kav kotzer mitzad the tzimtzum hält sich der ganze Bli Gvul. So the kav kotzer in the mekabel is margish that's in the bifnei atzma. But legabi the kav kotzer is a prat in him, and there's no shinui. We'll have to see this in the hem. We'll see it inside. Yeah. But ich will get weiter and present the Friedrich Rebbe's Lashon. Just you got this point of mitzias v'yeshes, yeah? You heard the minion. You better reingucken, but that's l'chura the pshat. Just look at the Tashon. Here's a vision. This is a vision. We'll get the Shlomo. We'll get the Chassid Shemus. Here's the Shlomo. League Volk Volk. Here's the Shlomo. So, מה דקה המציא שנרגש רק פרנסי זו, כך, כמו שמישהו פרנס המציא וישס, לא נרגש כלל. ועדי הצמצום ונינס אלמה אלה אינסוף, מה שנרגש בפשיט את פרנס הישס והמציאס. ואלה אינסוף הרי איני נרגש. ואז איני הצמצום. So now, what's the Rabbi here? So, Fisa kommt weiter zu noch aber. Bezem metarts mit dem beer that the mocker from Mitzias and the fact that it was nimshach kav kotzer in a eifin that the kav kotzer is erak vol. benifnat the Rabbi, b'chol it's a shini. Lifnat tzimtzum, let's say the Eir Agvul was in a way that it wasn't nirgash. Now the Eir Agvul is in a way that it's nirgash. So the fact was I did tzimtzum in mashkos when Neval Lishanisi. V'chein v'shteit in the Mamer Tavshin Yud at was nirei levat v'shnei elam chol shini gadol b'yeser. That's in not tzimtzum. Free when the Eir Vigili is in not tzimtzum. And then la'achar at tzimtzum the himshachaf kotzim mit tzimtzum b'riyas elam. Ad lamata mata adin tachlis. So what's the environment perek doesn't show you in shalei yichud. B'chol any movement ich erim Lishanisi. That ik sheyeshina afilu malchus dasi ari malchus chamalchus kol elam shemalchus v'nesin zo malchus kol elam gam elam achitachtem. King sheyeshin malchus dasi ari zeg guf apel shini l'chol malchus choshalif netzim ich erim ani yival Lishanisi. So the Mittler Rebbe is meidig there that the malchus, the way it is lamata, is connected to the malchus, the way it is the malchus the itself. It's nicht sebas in the Rinyan. So the Mele fracted lefiz there, if there was a shini malchus dasi, there should have been a shini malchus the itself. Was entfert mit Tarde ist the key von Shlomo Emel Shayit Tzimtzum. Asher bezeh shel dem anus in the level. Lechin in the pershin. The Nekuda from Klali is just one word. That's the Nekuda from Klali is that when a shaykh to say Tzimtzum, Shinui shaykh to say if you have instead of saying the real mashal ilav or shefa. So let's say you have a Rav and Talmud. The Rav understands the Indian one way. The Me'ach HaRav is one type of Me'ach. He understands the Indian one way. The Me'ach HaTalmud is an under certain tzitz. Wie wird Masber and the Indian zum Talmud? He has to Masber the Indian behesten to the people the Talmud can verstehen. Then the Indian is Mishtanet. You have the Indian the way the Rav understands it, and you have the Indian the way the Talmud understands it. That's a shini. That's a shini. Or you say in a Pashta Eifin, you have the you say Gabi Lifnat Simsum, you have the way the Eid is begilui. And you have the air the way it's neif mukbal, let's say to a fanim of the air. Steht this is that the musig of the it's an eifin of eidumar, not an eifin of shefa. The word eidumar is also not a good dogma. But the middle that brings it, they say eidumar has a Muslim sense of eidumar is also different. You say that the shemesh is mispashet in this room. What if the shemesh is not mispashet in this room? Is that a shinui? By the Seichel HaRav and Seichel HaTalmud, the Rav understands kaf v'kaf. When he explains the Indian to the Talmud, something was neschadish over here. Till now, the Dvar Seichel was mukbal, that only the Me'ach HaRav was a keli to the Dvar Seichel. Through Tzimtzum being Meshanit, so now we have another version of the Svarim. Now, Sitzugi Kumenacha Indian, that the Seichel HaTalmud can before that, the Me'ach HaTalmud didn't understand the Indian. The Rav is Meshanit the Indian, he makes it behestim in a way that the Talmud should understand. Could you say the same mystic of Shini Ba'er HaShemesh? You say, let's say we're going to block the sun's not going to shine. So now, or we're going to take away the clouds and the sun is going to shine. The light's going to shine everywhere. Something was nitaisif now to the air. Anything was nitaisif. The air lechatchila doesn't have any limits. The Poel Mamish didn't shine, but nothing by the Seichel HaRav. It's not going to shut the Seichel. When the Rav understands the Seichel on his Mayach, Be'etzim it's everywhere. Be'etzim it's limited that only as Mayach Tak can understand the Seichel. Through Tzimtzum at Uvgitan Nachazach, that even a Talmud can understand it. If you don't have that, if you're not matzans in the Seichel, the Talmud can understand it. So the Seichel HaRav is going to stay in a way that only the Rav can understand. But Sheikh Ba'er Hashem, you're going to say that the air, if the air stays dark, when you block it with a masach, now the air is missing the possibility to come in. He's less expansive. When you open up the masach, now the air could even be in this room. The air lechatchila could be anywhere. The air lechatchila is not mukbal. Technicality, this heder akbala wasn't expressed. Technicality, no Indian muhusi is zugegeben in the Baran. Whether yet meir here or not meir doesn't change its mahus. Its mahus is blikvul. Yeah, as it steht, the beer. And the Poel says that in Lamaila is even more than that, because Lamata, the Poel Mamish, even though there's nothing nitasiv in the Mahus air, but the Poel Mamish, there's a shinui. Till now he wasn't mispashet in this room, and now he is mispashet in this room. Mashiach in the Nimshal, the whole tzimtzum is Helam V'Gili. Means the air is Ein Sof. And if the air is not, if the air is not Meir, so there's Davar HaMasach HaMahamaylim, but not that the air is not Mitzugel to be there. The air is Blikvul. The air alein vertish shtan. And not only the air alein vertish shtan, but dugmas like they say the marshal of Eir HaShemesh, that the air melchatchila is not mukbal, but Meila is no shina, if he's the Pelamish not there or not, but Semer Defel. The air is be'etzim nimtz in the Makam al-Kabal too. It is dark. You say you have Eir HaShemesh is here. Sachako, the people don't know about it. The Mekabel weiß nicht davon. Aber allein ist da. So when you know about it or don't know about it, it's not a shini in the Hussein. It's not a shini in the Metzias. Was bet is Chadash at the Mekabel weiß in Gilui? At the Mekabel weiß wegen that. Nothing's, but that doesn't change the Hussein.
As the Hamshach where we said the whole thing about earlier.
What I'm saying is, if you touch the Musik of Tzimtzum, that in the Shtal if not Tzimtzum. If you understand, if the pshat is this is the beer for that Tzimtzum is not Pe'el HaShinui. If you say that the air, the way this Lifnat Tzimtzum is Blikvol, it doesn't contain, let's say, the possibility to be Meir Blikvol. But that was a bit mit Tzimtzum saying. That's like a regular Musik of Shefa. We're saying the air Lifnat Tzimtzum is Ein Sab B'Tachlis. He could be Meir and Alifan. So das was kein Sach welches ist Chadish noch in Tzimtzum. Es hat Pshat nach Lachretzen, that is Meir in Welt. Etwas ist dann ist Chadish geworden. Lifnat Tzimtzum, Elokus was Naifin, was nicht gekannt mehr sein in Welt. Na Lachretzen ist Chadish geworden, that he is able to be Meir in Welt. The air is big vol, the air is Taklas Ein Sof. Nothing was this Chadish Lachretzen. What's the only thing? It's not Nirgash, not the air bleibt Ein Sof, the air bleibt big vol. The only thing is that the Mekabel, and even Achrat Tzimtzum, the whole Tzimtzum is that the Mekabel is not Margish there. Tzimtzum is his almas. Not that Tzimtzum is that the air gefindt sich nicht da. The Mekabel is not Margish there, but mitzad the air's presence, he's nimmt zu b'shleimus.
Not the Rabbi says Behemshach.
Where Behemshach?
Yeah, it's only Ba'achar. It's only Mekabel.
No, the Acharkach is not a word. The Acharkach is that even the Gabi, there's two in Yom. The word of Mittel Rebbe is that the Eir Ha'ein Sof, which in him, which he was Nitzamtzim, the Eir Sheis Alim is there's no Shini in him. Because the Gabi, the Eir is Al Bezach. What's the word of Helam? At the Mekabel basis, not the Pshat that the Eir is, that the Eir is, it's Epes Vizishtan in there. So that's Dayton in Shari Yuchot. That the Eir, mitzad the Eir, there's no shimi. Then there's another word, but the Eir shenim shechai idea tzimtzum. The Eir agvol shenim shechai idea tzimtzum l'chol was mishtan. Because the tzimtzum, there is the Eir agvol the way it is a prat and blikvol, and there's the Eir agvol the way it was nim shechai idea tzimtzum. L'chol that's a shini. The shini with the Rebbe is the Eir agvol. The Eir agvol goes through tzimtzum. There's one Indian is that the Eir shenis alim legabe him tzimtzum is not a shini. Because the whole in that tzimtzum is in of gili vehelim and not in of ashpa. Ashpa would mean that the tzimtzum is that you're married at the gufeinian. Eirumar the tzimtzum is his amos vegilu. That's the Rebbe means here that it's. If it would be shefa, then the tzimtzum would be a shini in the gufeinian. Since it's in of air, it's in of gilui, so tzimtzum is his amos tmuras gilui. You're saying that he's talking about the the whole Nekud of Tzimtzum. Shelim is honors in the Ilav. So you're saying the word is, let's say that is Ve'enarech. That the Tzimtzum tut off that the Eir HaNishpa is Ve'enarech to the Maker. L'chein ein ze pel shini. Hine be'ila v'arei alu muhusayila. Melech sheyesh shini ba'ola nasa shini b'muhusayila. Edi yisrael kshem l'shon shefa. זה הדיק משדם של לשון ער של לישל סיני לשפר. שכשיש שיני בשפר, אז השיני גם במשפיע. מה שאין כשיש שיני בגילי, there's no שיני במשפיע. Why not? Because air is gili. Air is not this chadash new Indian. The etzem is ein sof, but the etzem is ein sof, steht der begili eichet. Air is not, as the air get garish zu in the mar. That's the mekud of air. Shefan and ilav ha'olu, the olu, get the bes zu in the mashpiya. Mashiach air, the air get garnished too in the mar. The mar is Ein Sof, and not even the Yisaf of being mispashed in another makim. The air is not even Moshe. This nekuda that mitzad the mar he's only in an ifin of etzem, and the air to do that he's mispashed. Air is that he's begili. Air is no chiddush legabe the mar, because the mar is Ein Sof, and what's the air? The air is that it's open. The fact that he's Ein Sof. So open or not open, that's a shin legabe the mekabel. It's not a shin legabe the Indian. You understand the Indian? What's the ufta of air? The ufta of air is that the yachas of the spashtas get garnishes too on the mashpia. This Indian needs a little beer. You're saying this also. This prat of air gili l'umas shefa.
And turn on the mind we're talking about unbelievable.
No,
No, but in
the Rebbe says, Hashem is a movement, ich in the Poshim Shini Ba'ani, Ba'atmos. That means the Etzem Ha'er is not the Eir, the Tzimtzum in Etzem Ha'er.
The more he's talking.
Etzem Ha'er too. This is the Eir Abligvol too. There was a sign to the Mamer of Tafkas Amar Beis. He speaks to the guy with the Eir Hamas, or the Friedrich Rebbe Perek Tes. I mean, I remember when I think of the Perek Tes. He read the guy with the Eir Abligvol. Yeah, the Tzimtzum is Helen. And since the Tzimtzum is Helen, it's not Pe'el Shini in the air.
The reason why Simpson could be away from Helm is because the scrap is
air.
already, because the scrap is already.
Yeah, that it's in of air. The air, the air Agvod is not another Indian. It's the Gil of his Ein Sof. It's not another Indian. Al derech, like the whole Yachas of air to the Mar, that the air is just the Izgalas somewhere. Not the air is not made any new Tnur. So al derech, the air Agvod is not a new Tnur the Gabi the Makir. That's his Ein Sof. So Mele as the ganze Shinne von this Tzimtzum is as a Herzach nicht. Not that Tzimtzum is that kommt etwas zu einer Sache. It's not nirgends.